Have you ever watched someone fight and felt this isn't just skill? This is something else entirely? Islam Makhachev isn't built like other fighters. He comes from the mountains of Dagestan, where every day is a lesson in discipline, patience, and control. Imagine training before sunrise, wrestling OBRN floors harder than concrete, living a life stripped of comfort, and repeating it day after day. That's the reality that forged him. But here's the kicker: Islam doesn't need chaos to shine. He finds strength in silence, peace in routine, and power in discipline. Every move, every fight, every choice is intentional, has not chasing fame, hype, or knockouts, has chasing perfection. And now, with talk of moving up in weight and testing himself against an entirely new wave of monsters, the question is, how far can a man like him really go? By the end of this video, you're going to see why Islam Makhachev isn't just a fighter, has a philosophy in motion, a blueprint of mental and physical mastery. Stick around, because the story of his evolution is just getting started, and it's going to change the way you see MMA forever. You look at Islam Makhachev and realize this guy is built differently, bro. There's a kind of stillness in him, a quiet that comes from control, not comfort. That's the Dagestani way. He comes from a place where life doesn't hand you anything, where toughness isn't an attitude, it's a necessity. Imagine growing up in those mountains, training before sunrise, wrestling on bars harder than concrete, eating simple food, sleeping early, and repeating it the next day. That's how they re-raise through discipline, not luxury. Islam doesn't need chaos to feel alive. He finds peace in routine, strength in silence. He's not trying to be flashy or loud, he's trying to be affable, sedative. Every part of his life, from prayer to practice, is built around intention. When you live that way, you don't have to chase confidence. It's already there. That's why when the Octagon door closes, he is composed. There's no panic, no desperation, just control. Dagestani discipline isn't about being the toughest, it's about mastering yourself so completely that nothing external can shake you. That's Islam's secret. He doesn't fight for attention, he fights for perfection. And that's what makes him terrifying. His power isn't emotional, is disciplined. What separates Islam Makhachev from the rest isn't just his physical dominance, it's the engine that drives it, his mind. He operates from a place of absolute clarity. Everything he does is rooted in faith, that as his anchor. When you believe there's a higher purpose guiding you, fear starts to lose its grip. That's what you see in him, composure that doesn't crack. A lot of fighters say they refocus, but Islam lives it. He's not scrolling through noise, not getting pulled into hype wars. His focus is surgical. He knows exactly what he's building. That calmness you see in his fights, that patience, it as spiritual. His faith gives him perspective. Winning and losing don't define him. The effort, the process, the obedience to discipline, that's what defines him. And that's what makes him mentally bulletproof. Most fighters crumble under the pressure of expectation, but Islam thrives in it because he doesn't attach his identity to the outcome. It's about doing what he was born to do. That is the mark of a real champion, when the mind, the body, and the purpose move in perfect alignment. People love to call Islam Khabib 2.0, but that doesn't do him justice. Yeah, he trained with Khabib, learned from him. Amber D followed that same brutal grind, but Islam S taken it and evolved it. He built something new, more fluid, more technical, more complete. Khabib was domination through pressure. Islam adds rhythm, timing, and balance. His wrestling still suffocates, but his striking way sharper. His setups, clever ainer. He's blending everything together so well that opponents can find a weakness. And that asks what evolution looks like in combat, taking something proven and making it personal. Islam didn't try to copy Khabib, he tried to understand why Khabib's system worked, and then made it fit his own rhythm. That's why his transitions are seamless, his defense nearly perfect. It's not just training anymore, it's engineering. Islam S creating his version of total control, efficient, patient, and lethal. Khabib built the foundation, but Islam S building the skyscraper. And what's wild is he's still IBR improving. The student didn't just learn the blueprint, he redesigned it. When a fighter like Islam starts looking up in weight, it's not just about belts at S, about legacy. He's already ruled the lightweight division. The question is, what S next? The hunger for challenge never dies in true warrior ors. Moving up means testing yourself against bigger men, heavier hitters, longer reach, everything stacked against you. But that's what drives Islam. It's not recklessness, it's evolution. He doesn't want easy fights, he wants defining ones. But moving up isn't just a physical test, it's psychologber ical. You were stepping into someone else's territory where your dominance isn't guaranteed. That's where greatness gets measured, not in comfort, but in risk. Islam's methodical. He's not jumping weight for headlines. He's studying, preparing, building his body slowly for the move. If he succeeds, he's not just a double champ, he's the man who transcended divisions. But even if he fails, that willingness to test himself is what cements legacy. That as the essence of greatness, not avoiding risk, but facing it with absolute belief. Islam's not chasing gold. He's chasing history. So here's the big question. Can Islam Makhachev really become a double champ? Physically? Sure. Mentally? Absolutely. But the challenge isn't in talent, it's in balance. When you move up, everything changes. Speed, timing, recovery, energy management. You re-dealing with fighters who walk in heavier, stronger, more explosive. One mistake can change everything, but that's where Islam's edge lies. He's not a guy who fights with emotion, he fights with calculation. His fight IQ is elite, his preparation surgical, he understands risk better than most. And that's why it's not impossible. If he does it, he becomes more than a champion, he becomes a symbol of adaptability. But even attempting it shows what kind of man he is. He doesn't need the second belt he wants to see how far he can push himself. That's what makes him different. The dream of becoming a double champ isn't just about power, it's about curiosity, testing limits, rewriting what's possible, and whether he wins or loses, that mindset alone puts him in rare company, the kind of fighter who defines an era, not just a division. You know, when you really step back and look at Islam Makhachev, journey at S, kind of wild. From those Kolberdi mountains of Dagestan to standing on top of the MMA world, this isn't just about fighting at S, about evolution. Discipline, faith, control, that S what built him. Every single move, every fight, every decision has been part of something bigger than just winning belts. He's not chasing moments, he's building legacy. And now, with talk of moving up, testing himself against a whole new wave of monsters, it makes you wonder, how far can he really go? Can Islam become one of those rare fighters who transcend divisions, who redefine what dominance looks like in the modern era? Or does the Wag Bar HT, the power, the pressure, finally start to catch up? That's what makes this story so damn fascinating. We were not just watching a fighter, we were watching a philosophy play out in real time, a life built on discipline, tested against chaos. So what do you think? Does Islam Makhachev have what it takes to conquer another division, or is staying at lightweight the smarter move for his legacy? Drop your thoughts down below. I really want to hear what you think. And hey, if you've been vibing with this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who loves MMA storytelling as much as you do. Let's keep this conversation going, because Islam's story isn't over at S, just getting started.